If you didn't have the career you do, what job would you be doing? Who fucking knows? Like, really? I could be inside prison. If you're eating arse, you can use the same towel, I feel. If you're not eating arse, then yeah, maybe you want separate towels. Dating toxic men makes you uglier. Genuinely, it's the actual scientific fact. And this is going to be controversial and probably not what people would want me to say. My worst date was... Hi, Wrong'uns. It's me, and I'm doing a solo ep. This is my first of the series. So I thought I would start with stuff that you probably have seen a lot on my Instagram, stuff that you can't escape. Obviously, you know, at the point of recording this, we're still like deep in Labubu craziness. I promise I'm going to stop talking about this soon, but I just feel that I'm really enjoying this movement. And when the Labubu craze goes, we need to find a new one, because I think it's nice that we've all joined together to be obsessed with this ridiculous thing. Like, it's a little stuffed toy. It's a little monster with loads of teeth. And now they've become the most sought after item in London. And we're all obsessed with them. And I just think it's so ridiculous that I love it. Like, I love the fact that something so unserious, we're all taking it really seriously. And I love the looks I get from people when I have the Labubu on my bag and they don't know what it is and they think I look crazy. And if you are new here and you chose to join with a solo ep, bold choice, and I have any assumed knowledge, a Labubu is a little creature, a little fluffy toy that you can hang from your handbag. It was created by an Asian artist, very, very clever guy, Cassin Lang. But yeah, we just love these little guys. What else is new? So I have been doing the radio show with Pete for, I think we're in like our 6th week now on Kiss. We did a week on Breakfast Radio, which was great because we took over from Jordan and Perry while they were on holiday. And I feel like it was really good radio training because we got to do like 5 shows back to back all through the week. We did have to set the alarms for 4 a.m, which it hurt. I'm not going to lie. You guys know I love the early mornings. I'm not afraid of them, but 4 a.m. is taking the piss. 4 a.m. is giving like those narcissistic bros on Instagram with the ice bowl. You know, they stick their face in ice. Except it's just me huffing and puffing around the flat, getting myself into a tracksuit to come in. But I'm loving the radio. It's just a completely different feel to any other kind of entertainment, like telly, podcasting. It all feels so different, and radio feels different. Again, it feels like you are just being company for someone. You're just keeping them company, you're chatting, you're playing some tunes. It's not about you, it's about the listener. Hard to get my head around. Something's not about me. Wild concept. Yeah. And then the podcast, I guess, is about the guest, unless you are doing a solo app like today and it's all about me. Pete and I have wanted to work on something together for a while. Obviously, he's been on the pod. I've been on his. We've done bits and bobs together. We were on Towie together back in the day. We've known each other for like over 10 years. So we've always said the idea of working together would be really fun. It was just what? And I think that being in this building, being with Bauer, like the production company, and making the pod, and then getting to know like the radio team, it just kind of, this idea just like birthed and it just kind of happened. And it's such a nice thing to do something that I've not done before, he's not done before, we're doing it together. I'm always reluctant to say nice things about Pete because I feel like our relationship, our humour is just berating each other. And I feel like when I say something nice about him, I'm going massively off like course, and he feels the same way. But he is just very easy company. Like, he's a dream colleague, to be honest. Like, and he's a very good friend. Everything I do is on my own. My documentaries, my like dating show, I do everything on my own. So I'm not exactly someone who's like really well versed in team sports. I am Beyonce. I was born to be a solo performer. I don't know how to share the stage, but this was like a new thing that neither of us have done, and we've like supported each other through it, and we have a lot of fun. Like, we have the same banter, and I think we know how to not annoy each other. And then when we're like doing feedback with our like mentors at the radio station and kind of talking about how it's going and stuff, like the other day Pete couldn't come to the meeting and he was like, whatever Liv says I agree with. And he was like, not because he's scared of me and I run a dictatorship, but he was like, we have the same brain. Like, normally if I say something and I think, oh, I think we should do this, or I think we shouldn't do that, he's like, yeah, one step ahead of you. Yeah. So that, I mean, it sounds kind of like nauseating, but it makes it very easy when you are like on the same page as someone. So people always ask us when we're bantering each other if we've ever taken it too far. And we haven't. as of yet, me and him, like the bar, we can go low. Like we can go so low and it's not going to do anything. It's just like we've got a skin like elephants. It just comes off, rolls off like water. But also I know the things that are not funny. Like I know something. I know there's things I could say to Pete that like would be not funny, that would bother him. I'm not going to say that because he's my mate. And there's probably things he could say to me that would ultimately hit a nerve. And I just think he has it in his back pocket, but he's not going to do it. So we can go low, but we know where the line is. Other work things. I think by the time you're listening to this, I will be abroad in a secret location filming series 2 of Bad Boyfriends, which is really fucking crazy, really exciting. If I just like indulge myself to do telly talk for a minute, there's something that a lot of people I think would agree with in this industry. Like commissions are amazing and getting a new format commissioned is so exciting. It's such an honor. But a recommission, like that is just the sweetest like cherry on top, because it's getting it over the line is one thing, but doing it and then getting a chance to do it again is much harder in this climate. And you just know how you want to make this show better, like how you can make it slicker, like more exciting, funnier, like all those things. Series 1 was amazing for a first series. The contestants, like who I adore, were all incredible. But from a production point of view, I know what this show needs to do to go into its next era. And I feel like with any great reality series, like think of Love Island, think of like Too Hot to Handle, the first series is very much establishing itself, working out what it is. You're kind of making the show up as you go along. And then series 2, you have this format to work off. And that's the point we're at now. And we have gone bigger. Like this is bigger than series 1. Like our location, our, the crew size, the kind of the stuff we're going to do to keep everyone on their toes, and the way we're going to surprise the contestants. Like it's very, very exciting. And I just keep saying that, very, very exciting. Like one of them fucking dumb influencers is like, I can't say too much, but it's so exciting. Another thing that would have happened as well, by the time you're listening to this, so I'm cautiously talking about this because this could age really badly. So I've got anxiety. I've spoken about it before. I've got big hosting trauma. That's what I'm going to say. I went through years, my 30th, my 25th, like I did a lot of big parties, and I did a big wedding, and it's never gone in my favour. It's always been hugely expensive. It gets out of hand. It's been very stressful. People seem to wait to have a traumatic event at my birthday or at my wedding. They're going to deal with all their shit at my social event. So any argument they want to have with someone, it's going to be at my event. Any childhood trauma they want to work through, if they want to get into a scuffle with the police, let's wait. It's Liv's birthday in like 3 months. Let's wait for that. Let's not go to therapy, God forbid. So I have a bit of event trauma. So I have not done a birthday. Literally last year, Brad and I last year for my birthdays, Brad and I had like 5 guys, and stayed indoors, which is fine. Like I just was like, after the wedding, I was like, I don't want to spend any more money on anyone else. Like I don't want to host. I don't want the stress of it. But anyway, gets the point, Liv. This year, I was like, I'm going to do a birthday. It's time to get hurt again. And I was building the ideas. Obviously Ryan, of course, like my right arm, we're like, what do we do? I don't want to do one of these big parties where you kind of end up just having people there that you're like, do I even know you? So it started at a dinner party for 20, which is, I guess, it's quite a big dinner party, at a private dining at a restaurant in London. And then we realised that a couple of things. My friends, they don't know how to behave. And no one knows how to sit at a table and use cutlery. So I was like, the table is a waste of money. Let's get the table out. Let's do canapes. Let's get drinks. Then the woman was like, well, if you're taking the table out, you can add another 10. So I was like, okay, let's do 30. We'll do 30 close people, few industry people that I'm friends with, close friends, brother, sister, like let's keep it there. We're now at 40. We're a few days out from the birthday. We're now at 40. So we've gone from 20 to 40. I've got a feeling this little baby is growing out of my control. I can feel it slipping through my fingers again. So by this time, there'll be updates on social media. I hope that they're talking about this doesn't age badly, and I don't regret it, and we have a great time. I'm excited, and I'm wearing an insane little sequin dress, really short, with my ass hanging out because it's my birthday. And let's see. We're going to do a little section now, guys, on fashion trends. So my lovely producer has basically listed me off some trends, some fashion trends from the internet, and we're going to discuss. I'm going to give you my opinion. Because obviously, I mean, I'm practically Anna Wintour at this point. Like, come on, guys. Okay, according to Vogue, Glamour, Elle, and more, the below are the fashion trends of 2025. What do you make of them? Pastels. They're back in a big way. Apparently butter yellow, petal pink, pistachio green, and soft blue. Okay, it's a yay. It's a yay. I love yellows. The word pastels, again, it literally sends shivers up my spine, because if you listen to the episode of Ryan, and I'm going to loop back to birthday conversation now, I did a pastel themed fucking birthday. Like, what? What? Everyone was in pastels. My husband was in a pastel blue, baby blue suit. He looked like a fucking Ken doll. Like, that's just sick. Like, what the actual hell? What was going through my mind? So for a long time, I couldn't talk about or look at a pastel. But I see their place. You just don't need a room with 120 people in them, okay? And the decorations. Jesus. Plaids and ginghams is going to be everywhere this year, especially over spring, summer. What do you think? So plaids, ginghams, it's like, I call it like a checked print. I like it in a small capacity. I think it has a place. I think you can be on the verge of looking like German beer maid or like beer waitress, whatever you call them, very kind of like Oktoberfest, or you should be like milking something. So I think you need to kind of use them sparingly in the right capacity. I think they're good. Lace. 2025 catwalks are filled with models wearing camisoles, corsets, and the slip dress. Are you on board? I'm always here for lace. I think personally lace is timeless. I didn't know that it ever left. I'm glad she's back. I think it just always feels sexy without being too obvious. And I did a lace wedding dress. I did a lace black dress on my honeymoon. I just think it's timeless. I think it feels Dolce Vita. It feels like D&G, Italian summer, love. Ooh, polka dots. They're everywhere, especially in black and white. Would you wear them? I'm not trying to look like a Dalmatian. I'm really not. I've never been a fan. I think it's really hard to look good in polka dots. Like, really hard. Like, I haven't seen it. I would leave them, personally. My personal trends that I love, I know that people are saying that they need to go, but the micro shorts, I like them. I think they're cunty. I think they serve. I think they're just obnoxious. I know people have very love-hate with them, but I love. They're not practical at all. I actually like any Y2K. I like anything that feels nostalgic. I love the fact that all our fashion that caused us trauma, like juicy couture tracksuits and like zip-up hoodies and all this stuff is like coming back. Like it. I love the fact that knee boots, like the 90s, like leather knee boot to the knee. Love her. I think she should stay forever. I'm over Western. I'm over Western core, cowboy hats, all that stuff. However, disclaimer, you will see me in Ibiza in Western core, the cowboy hat, because it just makes sense. But just know that I'm also bored of myself. Now this section is one of my favourite questions from the wrong-uns about me. So these came in through social media and there's a real random assortment here, which I'm really excited to do because I always feel like sometimes, is there any question I can answer that I haven't already answered a million times? Am I becoming like a broken record? Potentially. What's the worst date you've ever had? Now, guys, this is going to be like old news to like old school wrong-uns, but I have not done a lot of dating. And you know this because it's worked out fine for me because my husband's great, but I was a serial dater in the sense that I used to go from boyfriend to boyfriend. There was never a gap because I was too afraid to be alone with my own thoughts, my own company, hated her. So I'd always have a boyfriend. And when I felt like a relationship was going down the shitter, I made sure there was someone in the wings. Like I can just be really honest with that because I've worked through it with my therapist and I'm like, oh my God, it's so random. I've never been single. Like, and he's like, yeah, that's on purpose. You've literally made sure you're never single because you never wanted to be alone. And he was so right. So I've not done a whole lot of dating, but I will say a date that is good to talk about because you can probably go back and watch it and it's kind of iconic is my worst date was Chris Hughes and I on a boat in Love Island. So it's what they called our master date. So it's like that epic date, or if you make it to the final, everyone goes on these epic dates. I don't think they're as epic now. I felt the budget's smaller, but we had no lie, like a super yacht. And Chris, like on this date, it's like we're like days from the final, and it's meant to be like on the front of this boat, you're like talking about the future. Like, are you going to live together? You're going to have babies, which is fucking insane when you think about it, because you've known each other for like 8 weeks. And we just could not stop arguing. Like, we could not stop arguing. We rowed in the car all the way there. We rowed when we were getting mic'd up. Then we had to sit there and kind of pretend that we like didn't dislike each other. So it's just like, it was awful. I had a great time because I was on the boat, and we got more alcohol that day than I'd had the whole time being on Love Island. And one of the producers, who I'm still friends with now, he was like, okay, she can have more Prosecco, because she's like really going through it with this guy. So I was just like living my best life. I'm like drinking my Prosecco, I'm on the boat. Chris is just raging at me. But yeah, it was what it was meant to be, and what it was very different. Will you and Brad do another TV series together? Okay, this is definitely like a very asked question, because we had the Olivia meets her match era, and then Olivia marries her match and all that jazz. So it's very weird with the reality show, because it's like an open commission, which I'm in a very lucky position to be in. Essentially, it means that I could start filming again tomorrow. But the problem I have is I'm doing so many other shows where I'm hosting or I'm doing the documentaries, that when you do a reality show, you have to have freedom to film your life. Like, you have to be doing stuff. Like, you have to either be moving house or having a baby. There has to be a story. There's no story in just watching me film. You can't just film me filming, because that would be really fucking boring. So we're definitely in a slot right now where like reality filming doesn't make sense, because I know that you guys probably think, oh my God, it'd be really interesting to see behind the scenes at work. But trust me, it's about interesting for about 25 minutes. Like, there's not enough there for a series. So I think that it's something that we probably will pick back up at some point, but I just don't know when. If you didn't have the career you do, what job would you be doing? Now, this is the hardest, and I get asked this a lot. And the ultimate answer is, who fucking knows? Like, really, all bets are off. I could be inside prison. I don't know. I could have been Jeff Bezos' wife. I could have been on that rocket ship. I could have been Lauren Sanchez, could have been nowhere to be seen. I could have been going up there for 11 minutes in space. I could have been doing so many things. What was happening before Love Island was I was a monster girl. I was working for the energy drinks company, doing the promotions. I was one of their calendar girls, so doing the circuit with that. But I was definitely coming to the end of my like love journey with that job, and I felt like I'd done everything I could with that job, and I was kind of the monotony of it was trying to kind of get to me. But the one aspect I really enjoyed was the travel. And so the thing in my mind was, how can I kind of leave this world but still travel? And I'd actually started going through the stages to do Virgin cabin crew, because I was thinking like cabin crew would be, it was like, it makes sense to me, because I wasn't afraid of hard work. I've never been afraid of getting my hands dirty, but it would have like ticked that box where like I would definitely have been on the move all the time, seeing new countries, meeting new people. So look, I would have probably been either working cabin crew, or I'd have got myself up to, you know, head purser, first class, met some old rich dude, and the rest is history. Who fucking knows? How do you manage your neurodivergence, particularly the bad spells, alongside your successful career? Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you for calling me successful. It's a complex question with a complex answer, because it's not as easy as it may appear to some people. It's a juggle. It's a strange one, because I am an extrovert in the sense of my work, but in the sense of my actual like soul, I'm an introvert. So in that sense, like I know how to command attention and perform and all the rest of it, but I basically refill my energy by being alone. So if you add that, a job in entertainment where I talk, you know, all day long to people and I try and entertain people, and then I need to be alone to refill my cup. But I also have ADHD, so my dopamine levels like run on empty really quickly. It's definitely like a balance. For me, the absolute key, and if I didn't do it this way, I would have nothing, is every hour of my day is scheduled. Like from the minute I open up my eyes at 5:30 in the morning, I know what I'm doing, and every hour there's no like dead space. And even if that is like scheduling 20 minutes to just, I don't know, put on Friends for 20 minutes, it's kind of written out and I have an idea of how the day is going to plan. Because I think with ADHD, the hardest thing is basically not getting like sort of into that space where you're just like, it's white noise and you're just blinded by the overwhelm. I think a really good way of trying to avoid that is basically planning. So I always have a notepad with me all the time. And it's particularly important for me at bedtime. It's on my bedside table with a pen, because as I go to sleep, these things, they start like, it's almost like I'm going to sleep and the thoughts are leaving my brain, and it drives me fucking crazy, but I'll be leaning over and I'll just be writing things because I'll suddenly remember something that needs to be done. And I write on this list, and it kind of has like no structure. But in the morning, when I first wake up, I'll take that list and I'll be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. 6 a.m. I'm going to go to the gym. It's literally a piece of pen and paper. It's nothing like fancy. It's not like some big spreadsheet. Then I'll be like 7:10, take the dogs out. 8 o'clock, I need to start makeup because then I've got to leave at 9 o'clock. I kind of go and I make a list like that. And then on the other side, I write kind of like to put a line down, I write to do. And then I go, the things I need to get done are like, I need to reply to my accountant. I need to post on Instagram today. I need to post on TikTok. I need to call my mum back. And that goes on the other side. So then when I go through the day and then I get to a point where there's like a gap, then I go into the other side and I go, okay, now I could email my accountant. And that is a very simple, anyone could do it. It's not like fucking rocket science. I'm actually sitting here like one of those people that should be taxed for having a podcast, just telling you how to write a to-do list. It's not like, this is not ground moving stuff, but it really, really helps. And once you start doing it and you get into a second nature of a habit of doing it, becomes intuitive and it just makes life easier. And then I do the things that make my neurodivergence symptoms better. So I try and get good sleep. I try and limit caffeine to like a certain extent. I try and eat a healthy, high protein, high fat diet. I try and stay away from too much processed sugar because I know it makes me hyper. And then when you're hyper, you go hyper, then you have a crash. I can also do a list of things that make it worse. They're more fun. They would be alcohol, they'd be staying up late, they'd be arguing with people, basically getting cheap kicks, cheap dopamine. All the fun stuff, shopping, it's cheap dopamine. But the payoff, the after feeling when you've had a cheap dopamine rush makes you feel worse the other side. So it's a really convoluted answer, but essentially planning and doing the things that I know make the symptoms better. Who has had the biggest influence on your career to date and why? Ooh. I find that a really hard question, I'm not going to lie, because I don't think there's one sole person who I've been like, this is my idol and this is who I, am copying their template or their green print or whatever blueprint fucking thing. There's so many different people. For me, it's obviously a lot of like female broadcasters who I think have had amazing careers, who I look at and I look up to. I've always been drawn to people, but especially women who are unapologetic themselves. They're provocative, they're opinionated, they don't care if people don't like it. They're hardworking. I mean, I was always like a massive Joan Rivers fan growing up. I thought she was so funny and she just didn't give a shit about ruffling feathers. Like Chelsea Handler, like an icon, someone that, one of the first females ever to have a late night talk show. Her career and the way she's kind of been agile and she's gone through these like different phases of her career. So many of the daytime great hosts in our country, we have so many to choose from. There's so many people, but there's different things at different people's careers that I find really inspiring and that I kind of get inspiration from. But I wouldn't say there's like one particular person. And that's not like super helpful, but it's the truth. Okay, we're moving on to another section. Now, this is a section where you guys have asked me on social media for advice. And again, my lovely producers have pulled together the best questions. So let's run through it. My best mate has lost her entire personality since being with her new boyfriend. Do I try and help her or accept that she's changed? You know what we refer to this as in the industry? She's in the dick sand. She is in the dick sand. She can't see her way out. She's drowning. She can't see light. I think that if she's genuinely your best friend, I think that there's a way that you can have this conversation with her if it's coming from a genuine place. And I think you have to be super self-aware and reflective if this is coming from a genuine place. Because if you miss the fact that she used to go out with you and chat up guys and, go out on rages and get like blackout drunk, and now she's staying in, having takeaways, it might be that she's kind of happy and she's settling a little bit and she's kind of calming down and she's in a different era. And is it because you miss having your wing woman, or is it because you think that she is actually losing herself, her sense of self and her identity, because they're two very different things. And I think that once you've kind of had that conversation with yourself and work it out, if you think she's losing her identity and she's your friend, you should speak to her, but you should be very cautious in how you approach it, because I think the instinct for her would to be very defensive, especially if someone's happy. It's like you never want someone coming and picking holes in your happiness. So I would say speak to her, but definitely approach with caution. Best skincare products for holiday. Well, guys, you know I love SPF. I love SPF. I love a UV visor. So they look horrendous. You look like someone's on a like a sort of, I don't know, Palm Springs golf course on crack. But you need to get them from, if you Google on Amazon, UV visor, it's like a plastic thing. And then the actual plastic has like anti-UV protection in it. They're really good for sitting around the pool. So sun protection is key. Then I always think, well, for me, a fake tan, because I don't sunbathe, so I want a little bit of colour. No one wants to look at, you know, sort of uncooked chicken drumsticks by the pool. So I think a little bit of self-tan never goes amiss. And then I think a little bit of exfoliator is good for holiday for the face, because sun cream, as much as it's great and you can get the best ones in the world, it's quite heavy on the skin. So you want to make sure that every couple of days you're kind of getting, you know, the debris off and getting your skin sort of like the dull stuff off the top. So I think like as an exfoliator, whether it's like a chemical based one or a gentle grain based one, is always a nice thing for holiday. My new boyfriend is such a good guy and treats me so well. Why am I missing my toxic ex? Oh God, aren't we just the worst? I'm assuming you're a girl. This is such a girl thing to say. We are the worst, aren't we? Because some of us like cheap dopamine. And being with someone who's toxic, who gives you adrenaline and butterflies and puts you in a fight or flight state, it's kind of addictive and you get a cheap kick out of it, which is really not good for your long-term health, mental or physical. Genuinely, it's the actual scientific fact. I don't know who the scientist is because I can't credit him or her, but dating toxic men makes you uglier. I'm sorry, I have to just share that with you. It's come from NASA, that. So it's bad for your mental and physical health, but I think basically you have to get used to a new normal, because we as humans are so habit forming. We like habits, we like routines. So if being with someone toxic is your happiness, your routine, what you know, when you then are in something that's stable and calm, it feels boring, it feels unfulfilling, but you just need to retrain your brain to get used to peace. You deserve it. I mean, if he's actually boring, that's you're in trouble. But I think you've said he's a good guy and he treats you well. So I think you have to just ignore the bad voice on your shoulder and listen to the good one. Can I have advice for styling a fringe? I'm in a love-hate relationship with mine. Oh God. Okay. The fringe is not for the weak. Let me just tell you this. If you're having a bad day and that fringe won't just lay the fuck down, I've literally blacked out from anger. But the game changer for me is, if I'm styling my fringe, you need to get a water spray bottle, like from any, high street beauty store, on Amazon, like a water gun. Because the one thing about the fringe is you're always going to wake up looking like the back end of a duck. But who's washing and styling their hair every single day? No one. So what you need to do is get the water spray, tie your hair back in a bobble, wet the fringe down. Don't try and manipulate a dry fringe. It's never going to work. So you have to wet the fringe, saturate it with water, put a bit of heat protection through it, round brush, a good quality hairdryer, and then you re-blow dry it. And then what I do is, sometimes if I'm going to do my makeup, I'm not going to leave yet, I'll put my fringe in a Velcro roller, put it in, it will twist it forward. When you pull the roller out, the fringe will go crazy like that, like you're in some 90s sitcom. It's mental. But then what you do is you get the hairdryer and you kind of blast it flat, so that volume will drop out. But putting it in the roller basically is forcing, because it's kind of unnatural. If you have a parting in the front of your hair doesn't want to go forward, it wants to go separate. And then a bit of hairspray, or just grow it out if you can't cope, because it really, some days it's just test me. I always feel like such a slag after a one night stand. Am I justified or am I overthinking it? You're a slag, I'm not joking. Look, this is my take with one night stands, and this is going to be controversial and probably not what people would want me to say. But I feel, and this is a thought that I've been having more lately. If this is the two things, if it makes you feel bad, then that's a problem. I think you have to work out about why you feel bad, because you shouldn't do anything that makes you feel bad and makes you feel bad about yourself. So that, I think, is something you need to think about, because you might be someone that having casual sex does not suit you and you can't separate your emotions and you feel guilt and all the rest of it. And obviously you need to make sure you're being safe. But putting that all aside, I think just way too much pressure to women is put on casual sex, one night stands, that the guilt that's associated with it. So when I was like in non-serious relationships and I was dating or whatever, I used to put so much pressure on like myself of like withholding sex. Like I really felt like, you know, that was like a game, like that you had to win. And like if you gave up sex to someone like on a second or a third date, it's like you were, like you say, a slag, or you're giving them the power. And just, there was so much gameplay with it. Like I was really like the ultimate fucking cock tease for so long. And ultimately, as I got older now I'm married and I just have this like one dick, you know, for life. I'm like, was it ever that deep? Like what was the big deal? Like, why didn't I, if I wanted to sleep with someone, why didn't I just sleep with them? Because like you really are only here once. And I'm saying, you know, obviously being safe and how you feel about yourself aside, it's just not that deep. And I feel like, you know, you should do what you want to do. And we none of us know how long we've got on this earth. And I think we waste so much time playing games and doing things because society tells us that makes you high value, low value, whatever. And really, you should just do what you want to do. And that is the tea on that. Because then one day you'll be married and people call you a slag anyway. So you really achieve nothing. Oh my God, guys, I've got a box of wrong to play on my own. Oh my God, how sad. Is it sad? I'm playing my game on my own. Using pet names in public. Wrong. Simple. It's wrong. People do it. Brad and I, no, we don't really have pet names. He calls me Liv. Or bitch. I'm joking. Yeah, I hate hearing, like old babe. I would like babe. I call him doll. I don't know why, because he's a man, but I call him doll. But it's like, I hate hearing like, baby, my love. Or like, yeah, gross. Save it for indoors. Have some self-respect. Using the same towel as your partner. No, so wrong it's right. It's technically unhygienic. Like Brad's got a hairy ass. He might have wiped his ass, now I'm wiping my face with it. But I think it's weird to be weird about that stuff. Like, I mean, I don't know. If you're eating arse, you can use the same towel, I feel. If you're not eating arse, then yeah, maybe you want separate towels. But I mean, we share toothbrushes and stuff when we go on holiday. We're pretty gross. Packing flat shoes on a night out, switching when your feet start to hurt. No, it's wrong. They're not meant to be comfortable. Like there's no hack. Like this is just this is me giving you like the cheat code to something that, you know, I realized when I was young, because the kind of mother I had and that I did pageants, like there's no cheat code to looking hot. So you just have to make a decision. Like you look hot and you're in pain, or you look like what people look like in flat shoes on a night out. A Mormon. And I'm telling you, the girls in the flat shoes they're not the ones, you know, they're not the ones. The thing is, if you wear heels so much, this is an orthopedic hack. Shout out to the orthopedic community. If you wear heels so much, you actually start losing feeling in your feet. So you don't have an issue. Your feet go numb. I haven't felt anything from the waist down for years. So I just think that there's that... yeah, there's loads of old wives' tales about things you can put on your feet. Oh my God, guys, if you suffer with blisters, sprinkle your shoe with a bit of translucent setting powder. Using a knife and fork when you should be using chopsticks. Okay, so wrong it's right. It's culturally, I mean, you just look like an animal, right? And there's a reason that, you know, people think that the Brits are crass and we've got no decorum. We don't. But also watching someone struggle with chopsticks is also an ick. Like if you're trying to pick up rice with chopsticks and you can only get one grain, we haven't got all day. Do you know what I mean? So I'd rather someone just like kind of admits defeat and uses cutlery. I don't want to see you like cutting up a piece of sashimi. I think that's ridiculous. But I think, yeah, don't be a hero about it. It doesn't look great, but it's so wrong it's right. Tankinis, wrong. Make a decision, make a commitment. Swimsuit or bikini. You don't, that bit of your stomach doesn't need to be out. It's got no business being out. Just make a decision one way or the other and make it not tankini. Also, I just feel like, you know, you're going to get a really weird, just like line of tan. I don't know, it's just everything. I feel like it would be uncomfortable. Yeah, bikini, swimsuits are chic as fuck. There's no reason to be in a tankini. Non-matching nail varnish on toes and fingers. Oh, God. It's wrong because if in a perfect world, we'd have them matching all the time. But even myself, someone as perfect as me. Like right now, full disclosure, I'm going to say this because it's a safe space and I feel like I can share with you guys and I can really like be my true authentic self. My toes are red. My hands are nude. Yeah, I don't feel good about it. I'm not proud of it. But that's the way we ended up because the feet were red and the nails were red and then I had to change the nails for a job, but I didn't have time to do both. I know. In a perfect world, they'd match. We don't live in a perfect world. Spirits mixed with still water. Ugh. Just say you're unhappy. That's like people who drink black coffee. Just say you hate yourself. Just say you enjoy suffering. There's no, okay, I enjoy suffering a little bit because I drink vodka soda, but it's the sparkle that takes the edge off. Are you going to drink like a spirit with still water? Like what else do you do? Like dry brush your teeth? Go like drag your nails down a chalkboard on the way home? Like you were just living an uncomfortable life. And I definitely wouldn't pick a fight with you because you fucked me up. If you're drinking spirits of water, it's wrong. Same people that drink vodka and orange juice. Do you not have like an esophagus? Like, do you not experience heartburn? It's orange juice and vodka. That is the nastiest fucking drink. Whoever invented that should be in prison. And that is that. That was really fun. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, I'm sorry. It's 40 minutes of your life you never get back. Love you.